Welcome back to the $1,000,000 Challenge. Before we get started with today, I have to rectify something that was brought up in the last episode. So my bonus in the last episode, my monthly bonus was $132, which a couple people were saying that's really big. Like, why is it so big? So there's a couple reasons, and I'm going to explain why, and then I'm going to rectify this a little bit. So this is important if we're worried about why that's so big. There's people concerned that I'm like adding money and stuff. I mean, I claimed the bonus, so it's clearly not me adding money. And then one person was upset that I was like wagering money outside the challenge, which I know there might be like new people hopping in and they haven't watched every single episode. That's fine. But I mean, it doesn't really, you gotta have context, right? So I mentioned before in a ton of different episodes that I do wager money outside of the challenge. It's not a lot. I use like $100. I'll use like Bitcoin, Sheep, Doge, like something different than USDC. So it's not messing with the Bankroll. It's something completely outside of USDC. But I'll put in like $100 max when I practice something and I'm testing strategies for the video, like the whole challenge. Obviously, the dice strategies aren't good enough, I don't think. I usually lose money, honestly. So I never actually do them with the challenge itself. The one dice strategy I thought would work busted like 3 times on video. So I do practice stuff outside the challenge. They usually don't work. That's why they never like make it to the videos. And then I'd lose a couple $100 here and there, like trying to wager. I mean, I'll wager a ton of money because I'm doing an auto dice strategy, but the strategies will bust and I'll lose my $100 that I deposited. But that's my own money. That's not towards the challenge. But that money that's wagered gets entered into the bonuses, like the monthlies and the weeklies. So it's not a ton of money, but it does add to the bonuses. I'll give you guys that were concerned. So let me show you a screenshot real quick. So this is from episode 24. This is part 24. It's the last monthly I claimed, but this is the rake back. So there's me showing that I use other coins, you have Sheep and Bitcoin and the rake back. And I've mentioned this isn't anything new. If you've been around, I get there's new people, like I said, that hop into the challenge, but it's important to have context and like understand the whole scope of the challenge. But either way, I've mentioned this before. It's nothing new. It's not my hiding anything. I use other coins to practice stuff. It's not a ton of money. It doesn't really change the game that much when it comes to the bankroll. But this next one here is the monthly claimed, which was like $12.52, and the bankroll at the time was like $200. I think before I claimed this, and it was like $215 after I claimed this. So since my bonus was 132 from the last monthly that I just claimed last episode, I'm kind of basing it off that. So I definitely wagered way more since the last bonus because the bankroll's gotten bigger. I've been like playing different, like a little bit more aggressive and stuff, and like doing like some high risk stuff. I lost a lot of money, so I was wagering like I was doing a lot of wagering to try to come back from those like couple losses and stuff. But either way, I think it's fair to say that there's been money used outside of the challenge and that causes some concerns. I get the monthly was huge this past one. 132 was massive. I was even surprised by that. I'm not saying that's like all from the challenge, but most of it is like 95% of it, whatever you want to call it. I'm just making up a number. But most of it's from the challenge. I think somebody said they had like a similar bankroll, but their bonus was only like half the size of mine. I mean, that could be true. I don't know what you're wagering, so like it's really hard to say. Like I could be wagering triple the amount you're wagering. I have no idea what you do. But I get those people like concerned and stuff. So I think to make things like fair and completely transparent, like as I always do, and I'm gonna throw up some bonuses in the background while I'm talking here, because that's the whole thing. Is like I'm throwing up bonuses in the background to show how I'm claiming this money. I show everything. I show absolutely everything. And I didn't think like wagering some money outside the challenge would really change anything. And like I'll do promotions too. Like if the website offers, like if you wager $100, we'll give you like $25. I'll do that. And that's like with my own funds. And I do it, like I don't record it obviously because like I'm putting that in my bank account. It's not part of the challenge, but like if they're offering free money like that, I'm gonna use it. And it's a little bit more aggressive or risky for the challenge to be included. Like wagering $100, I don't know if I want to do that for the challenge. So I just do that with my own money. And again, it's nothing like I'm gambling like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Maybe like wagering couple, maybe it's a grand or a couple grand or something. But it's not like I'm depositing like thousands of dollars and doing some crazy stuff, like adding that to the bonus or whatever. But I think for going forward, to keep things like less questionable, I mean, obviously this is purely legit. I've shown everything. Go back and watch everything I've done. But I think to keep things like less questionable and more transparent and like less any concerns along that end, I'm just not going to practice or like gamble at all outside the challenge. I think that's just going to be the game plan. If there's any offers from the website that I think are worth claiming, I'll do them within the challenge. So there's nothing like personal being used. I think that's just the best way of going about it. I'm not going to test any strategies anymore. I'm not going to do anything like that just to prevent any questions. I want people to feel like I'm being super transparent, and I don't want there to be any like questions or concerns going on. I think that's the whole point of my series here. I mean, on my end, I know what I'm doing. I keep track of everything. I know it's legit, but I get that some of the viewers like want to just be 100% sure. What I'm going to do to rectify the huge increase is I thought it out and I looked at it. So when that video that I showed the clip of the $12.50, it was like $12.50. That was the bonus. That was on day 101, and this is the balance. I think before that bonus was like $200, so that was like a $12 bonus. So it would have been like 203, 202. So our total bankroll at that point was 476. The website balance was 215, and we had a $12 bonus. So I think it's fair, if we're looking at all this wagering from this day, the whole way down to where I added this new bonus, this 132 concern, you can see the balance was a lot higher. It was like almost $500 like throughout that, pretty close to $500, like 480 went, it went to 500. So I was gambling a lot more. So I think the bonus would be more than 1250 is my point. That's what I'm going for here. So like if we take the same timeline here, going backwards, the balance was like to the 400 to like mid 400s, going the whole way up. So this was obviously higher. I think it's fair to say that my monthly probably would have been around like $20. I think that's a pretty fair guesstimate, okay? If it was $12 there, I probably wagered more. I'm gonna say $20. Maybe it was like $18 or something, but I'm gonna say $20. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out that money. I'm gonna withdraw the difference on that. So I'm gonna keep the $20 as if we claimed a $20 monthly bonus, and then withdraw the rest so the balance resets and it's more back on track and there's no like concerns about why it was so big. So I think using that as a baseline, that $12.50 bonus, I think that's a good baseline to use. Obviously we wagered more than the previous month. And like I said, going forward, I'm not going to be doing any wagering outside the challenge. Purely everything on video. There's going to be no practicing or anything, no bonuses. Like I'm going to claim for myself, nothing like that. So there's no questions. And then with that bonus, basically, if you watch the last episode, I started off at 321 after claiming that bonus, and I ended up at 316 in the website. So I actually lost $5 on the website with that bonus. So I didn't make any money with that. So if I withdraw the difference of $20, so I'm gonna keep 20 in and I'm gonna withdraw the difference. Okay, so this is from the last video. So let me pull up a calculator. Okay, so looking at the bonus, if I had 132.08, and then I'm gonna keep 20 of that for what the bonus probably should have been, roughly guesstimating off our last bonus. So if I take off $20 to keep in the balance, I'm gonna withdraw $112.08. Okay, so here's the withdrawal. I'm just showing this for proof. I'm taking out $112. So there it is. I withdrew it. So now we're at 202.56. I updated the balance here, so it's 202.56. And that's going to bring our balance to 506.98, which makes the 1% stop loss, or sorry, the 1% profit goal, 507, and then our stop loss is $20.28. So again, if we look at this, I'm basing the bonus. I just want to clarify this one more time. So if I'm trying to answer any comments or questions before they come up. So we're basing it off the last bonus, $12. I would think I wagered more based on the balance during all this compared to the balance before all that. Smaller balance, wagered less money to get less profit, right? So I'm rounding it up to 20 bucks. So sitting before I added that $132 bonus, we were at 184. So you had 20 bucks. That's like a $19 increase, but I lost a little bit on the last episode. So that's why it's like 19 bucks. I'm going to keep what I did though in the sheet. So I'm going to keep these balances like this, these 3 days here. I'm going to keep this. And like I marked the bonus added as orange, and then the bonus being like withdrawn. That's like based on the only reason it's $100, as I just showed me withdrawing 112. The reason this is 110 is because it's taking these two cells here, which this is adding up the end balance and the beginning balance, which has like the bonuses from the outside apps included. So I guess this is based on the gambling and the bonuses as well, not necessarily just the stuff I withdrew. So now we're sitting at 203. So again, it's like if I added 20 bucks to this number here, and like these 3 days didn't really happen. That's basically where we're at. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna leave it in here though, just because I want to track everything and make everything transparent. So I'm not gonna like change the sheet and delete stuff and redo stuff. We're still on day 113. We'll just call those 3 days a wash. Again, I pretty much broke even on those days. So I actually lost money gambling in the website, but the bonuses helped us stay even. So like I said, we're gonna start off with 506 total, and we'll hop into the first day here. All right, so we're hopping into Crash, and the game plan for today is to go for a 1.03x, and our stop loss, or our profit goal is 507. So what I'm gonna do is do double that. So we're gonna be at 514, and I'm gonna do an auto bet. So what I'm gonna do is on win, we're gonna increase the bet size by 3%. So everything we win will just be added back into the next bet. Sorry, I just wanna make sure I got that logged in. Let's pull this down here. Okay, so yeah, every bet, we're starting off with double what we need. So I think this will take like 14 or 15 wins to actually get the profit goal. So we'll keep an eye on it. But in the meantime, I just wanted to talk, like I said, 2 points I want to make based on the bonus, and then I'll probably just kind of stop talking about it. But the first part is, first of all, this challenge I was going to do for my own pleasure. I just wanted to record it. And the whole goal of it is for me not to use my own money. So those bonuses, even though that was so big, in my eyes, it's not my own money, it's a bonus. So the whole point is to just use bonus funds, bonus money, promotions, anything like that. That's the whole goal, is just like keep using that to make our balance increase. I'm not adding my own money. Yeah, I'm wagering money through the challenge and getting bonuses, and I'm wagering to own my own money because of the YouTube thing. I'm trying to find strategies like dice strategies and stuff, but I'm not doing that. I figured that's not really worth it. But at the end of the day, the whole point is for me just to do this without risking any money on my own. So that was point number one I wanted to make. So that's why the bonus was included, even though I knew it was a little bit higher. And the second point is too, I know it's kind of like an admission to guilt almost if you like do something like that, especially on the internet. It's like, oh my gosh, like he, did something and then he took it back, so he must be like super guilty and he knew like he did something wrong. It's not necessarily that. It's just the fact that I want this challenge and everyone to feel like everything's super transparent and there's no questions. And I mean, I get it. Like I said, I'll admit it. It's pretty high for what I expected to. I didn't expect it to be that high either. But at the end of the day, I want everything to just be legitimate. I mean, it is, but some people don't feel that way. I get it. I'm not gonna do this all the time for everything either. Like I get this one, makes sense, but yeah, at the end of the day, like it's my challenge. I could do whatever I want. If I want to just start depositing like $50 a month or something, that's fine. I always said I could change the rules and stuff, but that's not even changing the rule. I don't know. I'm just saying I get it from like a YouTuber's perspective, or I guess the viewer's perspective of a YouTuber. Like if I was watching something and I questioned something that a YouTuber was doing, because I know YouTubers do shady stuff all the time, and I don't like to like classify myself as a YouTuber because I just try to like record myself doing stuff. I'm not trying to like put on a show or like fake things for views or like money or try to get like any like fame or anything out of it. Um, like I don't know. I'm just saying though, from like a from a viewer's perspective of a YouTuber, if I question something, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Like, so I'd want the YouTuber to do what I did. That's the way I was trying to rectify this whole concern, I guess. But it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, everything was a wash last episode. So the bonus was kind of added. It was like everyone was like, "Whoa, that looks like a lot." Um, I was like, "Yeah, I think that probably is a lot." And then I took it back. I didn't make any money off of it. The last episode was a wash when it comes to gains and losses. I pretty much broke even. So it's like it didn't even happen. It's like it didn't even happen. So we're all good. If you're worried about it, you don't have to watch this either. No one's forcing you to watch this channel. I mean, I appreciate the community. The community is super cool. But if there's people that don't like the community or don't like what I'm doing, no one's forcing you to be here. So it's all good. I always say I'm not here to make the biggest, craziest community. I'm here to just kind of have fun. I'd rather have a tight, small, chill community than like a um, super big one that has like a lot of different people. I don't know. Just kind of rambling. But yeah, if you were concerned, it should be all good now. We're all good. So on my end, that's the first time I actually made money from the challenge though. I pulled money out of the bankroll for my own personal funds. So I guess we'll take the win on my end, where I can. We'll take the win where you can. So we're getting close to the profit goal here. Oh, that's it. Oh, we just got it. Okay, cool. Let me stop the auto bet. So we're at 520. We needed 507. So we got the first day down. Okay, so day 113 was a win. We were up $5.20 off the auto bet strategy on Crash. So now our balance is up to $517, adding up all the outside casino apps and the website balance. We're at 517, which makes our profit goal today $5.17, and then our stop loss is $20.70. Popping into mines. We're doing a dollar bet. We got 3 mines in here. I'm going to reset the live stats. We're going to go for 3 clicks. 3 clicks. Oh, I didn't hit bet. Okay, that'll probably help. All right, we hit a bone. We're going to run it back on $1. Okay, let's go for one more. All right, cash that out. And then let's go for $1.50. 3 mines. Okay, 3 clicks. We made it. All right, so we're up 43 cents. I'm gonna do one more bet. On $1.50. If we win this, I'm gonna hop into a different game. Oh, that hurts. All right, let's go up to $3 bet. All right, let's cash that out. And let's go back to $1.50 and try that again. Oh man, the first click. That's tough. All right, back to a $3 bet. One more. Okay. There's the profit I was looking for. We're up $1. I'm gonna hop into a different game. All right, I'm gonna try snake. I did practice this, or I tried it out before. I guess I won't be practicing outside the challenge anymore, but I just want to see how the game works. So I did try it on a different currency. But it seems like it's pretty simple. You just basically like don't want to land on the snake, right? So let's start off with a 50-cent bet just to give this a kind of a warm up to see how this goes. And we'll roll this. All right, we just got an L. That was the quickest L I've ever experienced. Well, let's go up to $1. Okay, let's roll it one more time. Where are we at in profit? We're at 20-cent profit. Let's do one more roll. Okay, let's cash that out. So I guess ideally on this, you want to go for a pretty big bet and just not get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that what that is? Okay, let's try. Let's see here. Let's go for a $6 bet, and let's just go for one roll. It was a 7. That's a 7. I guess this starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, all right. $12 bet. One more. So you always start from the beginning. Interesting. Let's cash that out. Let's go back to a $6 bet. Okay. One more roll. And let's cash that out. So we're back into profit. Let's bring us down to $3. Okay, roll it one more time. So I guess it always starts from this beginning one. Yeah, it always starts from here. And that starts on 1. So that's 1 every time. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Or no. Yeah. All right, let's cash that out. So you don't want a 7, which is the most common number, I believe, right? All right, let's do one more on 3. And let's cash that out. And we'll pop into a different game. Okay, coming into blackjack, this is either our best friend or our arch nemesis when it comes to the originals. I'm just trying to stick to the originals today just because we've been playing live games a lot. So I'm gonna start with a 50-cent bet. Oh, that's a tough hand. But this will give us some room to martingale a little bit if we have to. So there's a 19 and we lose. Okay, let's go up to $1. 2 9s against a 7. That is not a split. Interesting. I thought that would be a split, but I guess it's not. We'll stand on it. All right, cool. We won that. So let's stay to $1 bet. 7 against a 2. It's just a hit. Okay. Now we have a 17 or 7 against a 4. We have a 17. We'll stand on that. Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Okay. All right. Lock in. We got the 20 against the 4. All right. Nice. Bring us back down to $1. 10 against the 9. It's a double. I don't know if I like that on the originals. Let's rip it. Oh, the 21. Oh, that's huge. Okay. All right. Time to dial it in. We need 5 17s. So let's go for a 60-cent bet. I like it. Nice. Okay, we need one more of these and we'll be good for the day. So we just got to martingale this until we hit. No insurance. They don't have it. All right, 13 against an ace. 14 against an ace. 21. Oh, he gets a 21 too. Okay. All right, I'll take a push. We fought for that. So we have 15 against a 10. That's a hit. We bust. All right, let's double this up. $1.20. Oh, sitting at a 7 against an 8. 15 against an 8. And we bust again. All right, we're at a 240 bet. We got 19 against a 9. They bust. Okay, we got our 520. Little bit, 3 cents above the profit pool. We'll take the little extra pennies there, but let's log that in the sheet. Day 114 was a win, and now we're on a day 115. Adding up the website and all the other outside casino apps, we're sitting at 526, which makes our 1% profit pool $5.26. And our stop loss is $21. So here's the plan for Keno. I think somebody mentioned this in the Discord. I can't remember if this is exactly what the person mentioned, so I don't know if I'm messing this up. I'm gonna reset the live stats first off. I believe they did a medium risk. They had all of these. I don't know what they did. I just auto selected. We're doing medium risk, and then basically what they said to do was martingale. So we're gonna start off with 1 cent. Basically, we're looking for a high multiplier on this. If we get, I don't know his strategy exactly, but what I'm going to do is if we get a 1.6 or a 2x, I think I'm just going to leave the bet. If it's anything bigger, I'll drop it back down. And if we lose, I'll double up. So that's the plan. So on like that, I'm going to leave it. So we take a loss there. I'm going to double up to 2 cents. So I'm going to leave it since it's just a 1.6. We'll leave it at 2 cent bet. We'll leave it at 2 cents. And we'll double this up. So ideally, I'm trying to get a crazy big multiplier. 4x is really good. So ideally, you want to get like a bunch of losses, have a bigger bet, hit that on like a 4x, right? Now, the thing is, if you're martingaling, even with 1 penny, it can add up really quick with a lot of losses. So I do want to be careful on this because this can get kind of messy. So we'll leave it at 2 cents now. Leave it at 2 cents. Okay. All right, there's a 2x. We'll still leave it at 2 cents. I said at 1.6 or a 2x, we'll leave it. So we lost that. I'm going to double up to a 4 cent bet. All right, we lose that. So now we're at 8. And it's going to start getting very aggressive. We're at 16 cents now. Okay, there's a 2x. We'll leave it at 16 cents. We lose. We'll double it up. There's a 4x. Okay, that's massive. On a 32 cent bet, that's really big. We're going to bring us back down to 1 penny. So ideally, I guess on a 2x, potentially I should bring it back down. We'll see how it goes, but I'm just gonna leave this at a 1 until we start getting some losses. So there's a loss. We'll go up to 2 cents. And we'll leave it at 2 cents on the 1.6. All right, let's double it up. Yeah, so maybe on the 2x, I'll bring it back down to 1 cent. So there's a 4x. We'll bring us back down to 1 cent. All right, now we're going to double it up. That's a really good hit. 4x. Okay, back down to 1 cent. Now, I realize this probably might be a decent strategy in the short term, but when it comes to the long term, I don't know if I want to be playing this super long. I'll try to get to maybe like $2. And then maybe I'll set like a stop loss on this game because I don't want to drain the daily profit pool on Keno. So let's just keep doing what we're doing for now. We're just 16 cent bet. We're going to leave it at 16 cents. That's a good hit. That's a really good hit. All right, bring it back down to 1 penny. Okay. All right, double up to 2 cents. Okay, there's a hit. We'll bring us back down to 1 penny. All right, nice. Keep it at 1 penny. Till we get a loss. Wow, 4x. Okay, it's cooking. There's a loss. We'll go up to 2 cents. We'll leave it at 2 cents with the 1.6. And we got a 2x, so bring it back down to 1 penny. Okay. We'll double this up. We'll double this up again to 4 cents. And to 8 cents. Oh man, the 2 quick ones. Up to 16 cents. Okay, we'll leave it at 16. We'll leave it at 16 again. All right, double it up. Okay, I'm gonna bring us back down since we're, I think, at a peak right now. So, I mean, I know it's gonna leave it at 1.6, but we're doing good there. So I'm just gonna bring it back down, not risk it. Because once you're high up like that and you start doubling up, it gets kind of scary on those big bets. So now we're at 4 cents. That's a good hit, 4x, okay. We're almost at $2. This is working out pretty good so far. double that up to 2 cents. There's a 2x, so it brings it back down to 1 penny. Leave it at 1 penny. We'll leave it at 1 penny. All right, there's an L. We'll go up to 2 cents. Whoa, another 4x. All right, nice. This is working good. We'll double this up to 2 cents. All right, bring it back down to 1x, or 1 penny. I'm thinking if I should switch up the order of the tiles, but they're cooking. There's a 7x on 1 penny. That'd be really nice if we would hit that on a bigger bet, but we'll take it. We'll take the 7x. 7x on a big bet or a small bet is still a 7x, so we'll take it. There's a good hit. There's a 2x. We'll bring us back down to 1 penny. Okay, we haven't hit a loss streak in a while, so this might be coming up pretty soon here. We're up to a 4-cent bet. We'll leave it at a 1.6. We'll take that. Okay, so we'll double this up to 8 cents. All right, now up to 16 cents. This might be the loss streak. We're at 32 cents. Okay, 1.6. We'll run it back. Okay, we hit it. Nice. Let's bring us back down to a penny. We'll do one more run. Okay, there's a 1.6. We'll do like one more loss streak, and then hopefully we don't bust, and then we'll call it there. So now we're set at 2 cents. We're up to 4 cents now. Okay, now we're up to 8 cents. It's a pretty good hit. Let's run back 8 cents on the 1.6. There's the 2x. All right, we're at 221. I'm going to pull out of here and hop and do a different game. So playing high-low, I'm going to start off with a 75-cent bet. And let's go for higher. Oh, man, it loves to do that to you, doesn't it? Let's go for $1.50. And then let's go for higher than a 5. Let's skip that. Skip that. Lower than a queen. And let's cash that out, $1 profit on that. I like it. And then let's go back. Let's bring us down to $1. Let's go higher than a 5. Oh, again, that's the same thing that happened the first time. All right, let's go with $2. Go higher than a 2. Let's go higher than a 6. Oh, that's brutal. I just wiped out our entire profit. All right, we'll keep it at $2. Oh my God, dude, that's disgusting. The low card's doing that to us. That's so dirty, man. We'll keep it at a $2 bet. We just lost. We're down in the negative now. Let's go higher. Higher than a 6. Lower than a queen. Higher than a 3. Lower than a queen. Oh, the 4. I'm going to cash this out. Well, that's a pretty good profit. It's not the full way back, but it's pretty darn close. Let's go back to this 4 here and go for higher. Okay, good thing we cashed that out, though. We still took an L, but we didn't lose all of that and go down to $6 loss. We're basically to break even now. So let's do higher than a 2. And go higher than a 6. And then lower than a jack. And let's cash that out. That was a really good run right there. That's a 2x. Okay. Might do one last run on this. Let's go higher than a 4. Higher than a 6. Lower than a king. And that's a 2.27x. We're going to cash that out. Okay, we're at 436. We're almost done for the day here. Let me pull into a different game. Let's do some limbo. Now, we need about 90 cents. Yeah, we need 90 cents on the dot. So let's do 30-cent bet and try to martingale a little bit. Okay, we lose that. Why is this taking so long? All right. Okay. Let's go back to 30. We need one more hit on 30 and we'll get a dub. All right, we lose it. We lose that. for 120. All right, there's our 526. We completed the day. Let's log that in the sheet. All right, so day 115 was a win. We got our $5.26. So coming into day 116, adding up all the balances, we're sitting at a total bankroll of $531, which makes our profit goal $5.31, and our stop loss is $21.24. So let's reset the live stats. And I'm gonna start off with a 25-cent bet on medium risk. And once we get a couple losses, I will try to martingale it. Wow, okay. That brings us back to break even. Oh, let's hope for the back-to-back on that. Let's go back down to 50 cents here. Okay, we're up at buck. Let's bring us back down to 25 cents. I'm gonna try to get this to $2. See if we can do it. Starting to hit some L's here. That's pretty tough. There's a 3X, okay. Back down to 25 cents. There's an L. Okay, leave it at 50 cents, do one more. Let's go up to $1 here. Okay, we need 15 cents. And I'll move into a different game if we can hit this. All right, hitting some L's here. All right, there it is. We're at $2. Let's pop into a different game. I'm gonna try the originals roulette, and you can't bet on like the columns themselves. So I'm setting up, I think this is right. We're doing 19 through 36. And I got a 12-cent bet on that, and then a 4-cent bet on 1 through 12. So we just can't hit these two rows here, the 13 through 18. I think this is set up properly. We're gonna give it a shot. 20, so 1.5x. I think that's more aggressive than I should be playing. I'm gonna do a couple of these. So we lose money on that. So that's not set up right. Is that how it should be set up? Okay. So 33x. Oh, the 0. If I double this up. So that's a 1x if we hit that. It's still not right. We lose that. Let's draw, okay. Trying to think, I think I have to add, let's bring us back down 8 cents, or I think it has to be, yeah, I think it has to be like that. I don't know, I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, this should be right. So we lose that, so we double up. I think we have to get 3 wins on this level. Okay, let's bring us back down. I'm trying to do my strategy that I do on live, but I'm trying to stay away from live games today just because we've been playing live games a ton. So my goal is always to switch it up. I want to play originals and I want to play live games. What's my profit on this, by the way? I'm only making 4 cents every win. So we're going to play a ton of games. Double it up twice. Oh, we lose again? Dang, dude. Okay. I'm just gonna keep ripping this on 80 cents. So I think, what's our profit on this? Yeah, we get 16 cents of profit. So that's probably where we want to be at. And then if we lose, we double up. So far, this is going pretty decent. We're getting super lucky. But yeah, I'm trying to balance between the live games and the originals. I don't want to just play live games. I do like the live games though, because the live games have like realistic variables where this is like all an algorithm. Somebody left a comment about that, and that's what I was trying to explain. So in a live game, like there's a real deck of cards, there's a real wheel, there's real dealers, there's real players, there's like real things going on that can like have an effect on the game and keep it like realistic, prevent wow, we are on a crazy win streak. I'm actually gonna bring this down to 40 cents just because I might get some losses, but yeah, I just like the idea that there's like real things going on. You can see what's happening. This is literally just a program. Like I'm just clicking a button. The math is happening behind the scenes, and I'm either gonna win or lose, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it in like live games either, but at least I feel like I have a better chance with live games. So, but I want to play both because I feel like that creates the house edge on both ends, and I get to kind of change it up a little bit. And oh man, we're getting some crazy losses now. We were on that really good win streak. Oh my god. But it's for sure that when the originals want to take your money, they will take your money. We're on $6.40 bet. Okay, we're back to pretty much where we were. I'm gonna bring us back down to 40 cents. But yeah, I don't know, but I feel like when I go on a crazy losing streak on the originals, I just feel like they're trying to take my money. You know, I feel like I don't have any control over it. Where I feel like in the live games, I still have a better chance of coming back. I think it's just a mental thing, honestly, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm always gonna switch it up. So that's our profit goal. We need 531. We got 532. So let's add that to the sheet, and we'll wrap up the video. Well, looking at what we did today, we started at 507, and then we ended up at 536. So in total, we went up a total of $29 on the day, including the bonuses and the gambling. Just from the gambling itself, we had $21 in profit. So $29 total, $21 from gambling. It's a pretty good day. So we're sitting at 536. So we're still pretty good. I think where were we sitting at when I added that bonus? 616. So we're about like, what is that? Like $80 behind. That's not too bad from that bonus. You know, I get people don't want it in there. It's whatever. But we're still gonna play. It's not really like that. It's not a game changer on my end. It's really not a game changer on the viewers' end either. Like it is nice for the balance to be boosted up like that. But like at the end of the day, it's not gonna like completely change the challenge, make it like so much harder for me. At the same time, it's not gonna completely change the challenge and make it so much easier. But it will be nice to have it in the bankroll. So it's whatever. But just so you know, we're sitting in a good position, way ahead of the tracker still. We're well over double where we should be on day 116. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate all the support. I always listen to your feedback. As you can clearly see in the beginning of this video, I listen to the feedback. I respond to every comment that I can. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Join the Discord. The link's in the description if you're not in there already. I plan on doing a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers, so you're going to be in there sooner than later, so don't miss that. And yeah, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.